There comes a time in everyone's life when the mind stands at a crossroad. One road seems easy, bright, and comfortable. The other looks uncertain, steep, and full of fog. And right there, in that silent space between your heartbeat and your thoughts, lies the weight of a decision. Many people freeze at that moment. They hesitate, hoping someone else will decide for them. But the truth is, no one can walk your road. No one can choose your path. Life will always whisper one question into your heart: what will you decide? Most of us are not afraid of choices. We are afraid of being wrong. We fear regret more than failure. We replay imaginary futures in our heads, wondering what could go wrong if we make the wrong turn. The truth, however, is that wrong decisions are rarely the end of the story. They are often the beginning of understanding. Taking the right decision doesn't always mean choosing what feels safe. It often means listening to what feels true, even if it scares you. When you look back on your life, you'll realize that every major moment began with a decision. Sometimes it was a quiet one, like deciding to get out of bed on a difficult morning. Sometimes it was big, like leaving a job, saying yes to love, or walking away from something that once defined you. Each of those choices built the person you are today. So, the question is not whether you will make the right decision every time. The question is, will you have the courage to decide at all? There was once a young man who wanted to make the perfect decision about his career. He asked everyone he knew for advice. His parents told him one thing, his friends told him another, and his teachers suggested something else entirely. The more he listened, the more confused he became. Finally, he visited an old professor he respected and said, "Sir, how do I make the right decision?" The professor smiled and said, "Make one first. Then, make it right." The young man didn't understand at first. But as years went by, he realized the professor was right. There is no magical moment when every fact becomes clear and every outcome becomes safe. Life doesn't hand you perfect choices wrapped in certainty. You create clarity by moving forward. You find your direction not by waiting for the fog to lift, but by taking the first step through it. The right decisions are often invisible in the beginning. They don't shout, they whisper. Sometimes they whisper through discomfort, a job that no longer feels like you, a friendship that drains you, a daily routine that leaves you feeling numb. That whisper is your inner voice telling you something needs to change. And the longer you ignore it, the louder the confusion grows. Many people live their lives waiting for the right time. They say, "I'll decide when I have more money," or "I'll move when I feel ready." But readiness is a mirage. You never feel completely ready for anything that truly matters. The heart always beats faster before you do something important. The fear you feel isn't a sign to stop, it's a sign that the decision matters. One of the secrets to making the right decisions is to separate noise from truth. The world is loud. It tells you what success should look like, what happiness should mean, and what path you're supposed to follow. But when you strip away the noise, you begin to hear your own thoughts again. Sit quietly for a few minutes each day, without your phone, without anyone's opinions. Just breathe and ask yourself, what do I truly want? The answer might not come instantly, but your heart always knows. You just have to give it space to speak. Right decisions often start with wrong assumptions. You might think you want success, but what you really crave is peace. You might think you want approval, but what you really want is freedom. Once you understand the real desire behind your choices, your path becomes clearer. Sometimes, taking the right decision doesn't feel right at all. It can hurt. It can break your heart. It can make you question yourself. But in time, you realize that pain was a teacher, not a punishment. The hardest decisions are usually the ones that free you the most. Choosing growth over comfort, truth over appearance, and peace over chaos is rarely easy, but it is always worth it. Imagine you're standing in front of two doors. Behind one door is everything familiar, the same job, the same people, the same version of you. Behind the other door is something unknown, maybe a dream, maybe a risk, maybe a new version of yourself you haven't met yet. Most people keep staring at the doors, waiting for a sign, hoping the right one will glow with certainty. But doors don't glow. You have to open one to find out what's inside. And even if you walk through the wrong one, you're still moving forward, still learning, still alive. Every great leader, artist, or thinker has made decisions that others called foolish. The difference is, they didn't let fear of being wrong stop them from acting. History remembers those who had the courage to choose. The world rarely remembers those who hesitated forever. When you take a decision, you also take responsibility. You can't blame luck, destiny, or other people. You have to own it. That's what gives decisions their power. Once you own a choice, you stop drifting. You start steering. Even if the path turns rough, at least you're driving your own story. Sometimes the right decision is not about doing more, it's about letting go. Letting go of what no longer fits your spirit, even if it once made you happy. Letting go of people who don't grow with you. Letting go of an identity that's too small for who you're becoming. Every ending you accept creates space for something new to begin. And here's a truth many people forget: indecision is also a decision. When you refuse to choose, life chooses for you. Opportunities fade. Moments pass. The world keeps moving, whether you do or not. So if you're stuck, remember that movement, even imperfect movement, is better than stillness that leads nowhere. Taking the right decision is not about never failing. It's about learning quickly, adjusting, and trying again. Wisdom is built from the pieces of broken choices that we reshape into lessons. Failure is just experience wearing a disguise. When your mind feels clouded with options, return to your values. Ask yourself, what kind of person do I want to be? Not what do I want to have? Or what do I want others to think of me? The right decision is always the one that aligns with who you truly want to become. Sometimes the universe tests your commitment by giving you exactly what you asked for and then taking it away. You thought it was the wrong decision, but later you see it was the only path that made you stronger. That's how life works. It doesn't punish, it prepares. There's also beauty in patience. Some decisions take time to unfold. The right answer doesn't always rush to appear. If you've planted seeds, don't dig them up every day to check if they're growing. Trust the process. You can make the best choice today and still not see results for months. That doesn't mean it was wrong. It just means growth takes time. The heart of decision-making is honesty. When you are honest with yourself, brutally honest, choices become simple. Not easy, but simple. Because truth cuts through confusion like light through fog. If you can face the truth without running from it, you'll rarely lose your way. The people who make the best decisions are not always the smartest. They are the ones who listen deeply to their experiences, to their intuition, to the quiet signals life sends them. They've learned that wisdom often hides in silence. So, if you ever feel lost, stop searching for the right choice outside yourself. The answer has always been within. The challenge is not finding it, it's trusting it. Life will test your decisions. You'll doubt them, question them, maybe even regret them for a while. But then, slowly, you'll see how even the wrong turns led you to the right lessons. You'll realize that the person you became was shaped not just by what you chose, but by how you responded when things didn't go as planned. The next time you face a hard choice, don't rush. Breathe. Ask yourself, will this bring me closer to the person I want to be? Will I be proud of this choice 10 years from now? Then, take the step. Trust that even if the path bends, you will learn to walk it with grace, and when you finally look back, you'll see that there were never truly right or wrong decisions, only decisions that taught you what you needed to know next. That's how wisdom grows. You are not supposed to have it all figured out. You are just supposed to begin. The right decision is often the one that moves you forward, even if it shakes your comfort. The wrong decision is often the one that keeps you frozen, even if it looks safe. So, whatever choice stands before you today, remember this: life rewards movement, not hesitation. Trust your instincts. Trust your journey. Trust that even if you fall, you'll rise wiser than before. Because the only truly wrong decision is not deciding at all, and that's how you take the right decision, not by predicting the future, but by believing in your ability to handle whatever the future brings. I share stories like this every day. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one.